What would your life look like if fear no longer had the final word? If you stopped letting it lead and started using it as fuel? If you didn't have to wait to feel brave, you just had to act, even if your voice trembled. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Mentium Podcast. Today, I would like to talk to you about something that touches all of us: fear. This episode is more than just a conversation, it is an invitation to look at fear differently, to confront it with compassion, and to step into a mindset that helps you move forward despite it. I call it the fearless mindset, and I have designed an entire course around it. But more on that later. Right now, I want to help you begin this transformation. Let's start by calling fear what it really is. Fear is not a monster. Fear is information. It shows up to protect us, to keep us safe. But sometimes fear doesn't know the difference between danger and discomfort. And that's when it begins to hold us back. Think about it. How many opportunities have you avoided, not because you were not ready, but because fear whispered, "What if you failed? What will people think? Who do you think you are?" The real problem is not fear itself. The problem is when fear runs the show. It stops you from speaking up. It holds you hostage in a job you hate. It convinces you that your dreams are just dreams. But here is what I have learned through my own journey and years of coaching others. You don't have to be fearless to move forward. You just have to decide that your goals are more important than your fears. Let's name some of the ways fear can show up in everyday life. Procrastination, not because you were lazy, but because you are afraid of not doing it perfectly. Overthinking, replaying the same decisions in your head because you were scared of making the wrong one. Staying small, not applying for the job, not starting the business, not speaking on stage because fear says you are not ready. Sounds familiar? If fear has been calling the shots in your life, I want you to know this: you are not alone. You are not broken. Fear is part of the process, but it doesn't have to be the end of your story. So let's get practical. Here are 5 powerful tools you can use to face fear head on and keep moving forward. Number one, start small, win big. Courage is built like a muscle. You start small, then build. If public speaking terrifies you, start by speaking up in a meeting. If launching your business feels overwhelming, start with one client, one post, one product. Every small win tells your brain, "I can do hard things." Number two, break the fear down. Don't face the whole mountain at once. Break the fear into steps. Ask yourself, what is the next smallest steps I can take towards this goal? Momentum is more important than massive action. In the Fearless Course Mindset, which I will give you a preview later, we actually build something called the Fear Ladder that helps you do this step by step. Number three, reframe the story. Fear often comes with a narrative. If I fail, I will be humiliated. If I try, they'll laugh. If I speak up, they will reject me. But is that true or just a story? Reframing looks like this: what if trying open doors I never imagined? What if the rejection is actually redirection? What if fear is a sign that I am stretching, and that's a good thing. Number four, name the fear to tame it. Get specific. Don't just say, I'm scared. Say, I'm afraid I'll be judged, or I'm afraid I'll disappoint myself. Naming fear takes away its power. You are putting a light on it. In the course, I walk you through this process in depth, how to write your fears out, speaking them out loud, and neutralize them. Number five, surround yourself with courage. You don't have to do this alone. Fear thrives in isolation. Courage multiplies in community. When you are surrounded by people who are also facing their fears, it normalizes the process. In the Fearless Mindset course, you will be part of a community of people who are choosing growth over discomfort, just like you. Let me share a quick personal story. There was a time that I wanted to start a podcast, but I was afraid to put my voice out there, afraid to be seen. What if no one listened? What if I failed publicly? But the bigger fear, the one that finally pushed me forward, was this: what if I stayed silent and never fulfilled my purpose? What if the people I was meant to help never heard my voice? That fear became my fuel. I took the first step, then another, and here we are today at the second season of the Mentium Podcast. Fear didn't leave, but I learned to walk with it and keep going. If any part of this episode resonated with you, then the Fearless Mindset course is your next step. It's not a motivational seminar. It is a transformation process. In this course, you will learn how to map your fears and confront them one step at a time, how to shift your mindset, rewrite limiting beliefs, how to use fear as a tool, not a threat, how to become the version of you that fear was trying to hide. In the course, you will get 5 powerful modules with practical strategies, reflection worksheets, and action steps, live coaching calls with me, a private community of accountability and encouragement. Here is a preview of the first module in the course. Here, we would like to deal with the core concepts. What is fear? Fear is an emotional response triggered by a perceived threat. It is designed to protect us from danger, but in many cases, fear arises in situations where there is no real harm, only uncertainty or discomfort. Let's talk about the types of fears. Rational fear, fear based on real danger. For instance, fear of fire, heights, or physical harm. Irrational fear, fear that exists only in the mind and limits personal growth. For instance, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of success. How does fear manifest? Fear can show up in various ways: racing heart, sweating, tension in the body; emotional, anxiety, self doubt, avoidance behavior; mental, overthinking, negative self talk, procrastination, as we talked about earlier. The fear loop, how fear controls your actions. Trigger, you face an uncertain or challenging situation. Perception, your brain interprets the situation as a threat. Response, you react with avoidance, hesitation, or overthinking. Reinforcement, by avoiding the fear, you strengthen it, making it harder to overcome next time. The key to breaking this loop is awareness and action. Here's an exercise and reflection. Let's talk about the fear audit. Identify your fears. Write down 5 things you fear that are holding you back. Ask yourself, is this Irrational or irrational fear? What is the worst that could happen if I face this fear? What could I gain if I overcome it? Now, reframing the fear. Choose one fear from your list and reframe it into an opportunity. Example, instead of I am afraid of public speaking, reframe it as public speaking is the chance for me to share my knowledge and grow. Action steps: start a fear awareness log for the next week. Each time you feel fear, write down what triggered the fear. How do I respond? What action you could take instead? Share one fear you were working on overcoming with a friend, mentor, or a community member in the Mentium Institute. Accountability makes a difference. Watch for patterns. What situations trigger your fear most? Recognizing patterns is the first steps to change. You see, fear is not something you eliminate. It is something you understand and manage. By becoming aware of your fears and how they impact your action, you take the first step toward a fearless life. This is your chance to say, I am done letting fear lead. I am ready to flourish. As a podcast listener, you get an exclusive early access and a bonus session when you enroll this week. Click the link in the description to get started. Now, here's the truth I want you to walk away with. Fear is not your enemy. It's your invitation. Invitation to grow, invitation to stretch, invitation to rise. When you stop waiting to not be afraid and start moving with your fear, that's when everything changes. Fear will still visit, but it won't be the one driving. You will. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this message stirred up something in you, don't let it fade. Take action. Join the Fearless Mindset course. Share this episode with a friend. Post your next courageous step using the hashtag the fearless mindset. And most of all, remember this: you don't have to be perfect, you don't have to be fearless, you just have to be willing. You already have everything it takes. So go flourish. I'll see you inside the course. Until next time, remember this: courage is not the absence of fear, it is choosing to move anyway. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. I am Majama, and this is Mentium. Peace.